So we're going to jump back into Jarnail Singh's testimony to the Post Office inquiry now, where he's discussing his sorrow for the subpostmasters and how he didn't really want to prosecute anyone. And Jason Bay confronts him with his witness statement and the email that he sent about Seema Misra's case, where he characterised it as an attack on Horizon. But actually what he says is he didn't choose who to send it to, nor did he choose the wording of the subject title. Well, if he didn't, who did? Let's jump into the inquiry.
You said in the course of one of the previous three answers that it hurt you to prosecute anyone.
Yes.
Can I see whether that's true? Can we look, please, at paragraph 206 and 207 of your witness statement, please, which is on page 69. It will come up on the screen. So witness statement, page 69.
Are you going to display on...
It will come up. It takes a little while.
Okay, thank you.
It's 206 and 207.
It sounds like Jason Bay's got something to disprove this. Let's have a look.
You say, I've considered my email dated the 21st of October 2010 and my memo to Post Office Security and others dated the 16th of November 2010.
Yeah.
At the time, I thought the outcome of the case was a success, and I was relieved that the case was concluded. There's a comment in my email that it's hoped that the case will set a marker to dissuade other defendants from jumping on the Horizon bashing bandwagon. I was asked to report back to the team, and in doing so, I commented on the outcome and the fact that the defence's criticisms of the Horizon IT system were dealt with, and that the prosecution case was made out. I was aware that the case was of wider interest with the business, and my comment in relation to other cases was made with this in mind. The wording of the email also had some input from counsel.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, that does sound quite damning. That does sound like you're doing a victory lap around your office at that point, to be fair.
Can we look, please, at the email to which you're referring there? Poll 309 3686. And page 5, please. If we can focus on the email on the bottom part of the page, please. Can you see that there's an email there sent? You can just see it on the right-hand side. It's sort of squished in. Marilyn Benjamin, I think, on behalf of Jarnail Singh, sent on the 21st of October 2010 at 2:58. Can you see that?
Yes, I can.
The subject, Regina against Seema Misra, Guildford Crown Court, trial, attack on Horizon. Can you see that this email does not appear to be part of a chain?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Do you know what a chain of emails is?
Yes, I know. Yes.
And if you look, for example, at the following page, it's blank. There's no email there.
Yeah.
And then if we go back to page 5,
essentially saying that, he's the person who's instigated this. Has sent an email that he's then replied all to, and obviously they've taken great delight in sending it out to a lot of people. This is obviously Seema Misra's case there, where this email's been sent out from Jarnail Singh at the time in 2010 when he did have his assistant, so he's got her to type it up and send it on his behalf.
You look at the subject heading. Can you see that? The subject heading, if that could just be highlighted.
Attack on Horizon, yeah.
It doesn't say Regina against Seema Misra or FW : Seema Misra when you reply to an email or forward an email. The subject heading changes, doesn't it?
I don't know.
You don't know that?
I mean, it does. I mean, it can technically be removed. FW is if you're forwarding an email from somebody else and almost like quoting a tweet, I would imagine. Is a good comparison. And RE means you're replying to somebody else that sent it out. But we can see in this case, in any case, that it certainly wasn't replying to another email because there was nothing after that in the document detailed in the chain.
Would you agree that this looks like an originating email from you? You started off the conversation here.
Well, I was asked normally. I mean, if you've seen the previous reports, they're basically done by legal executives. The case comes in, and we've got a format for it, and they do it. And I think in this case, I did ask Phil Taylor to do it, and I was told that Jarnail, look, you need to do this because it's going to a wider, the wider audience within the business. That's the reason why I did it. And then I did basically, told the first bit, saying, look, this case was a lengthy trial at Guildford Crown Court.
We can see what the email says. We're going to come to that in a moment.
Okay.
But would you agree that you appear to have started the conversation off here by this email?
Yes.
And so you picked both the title and the distribution list?
Well, I was given the distribution.
Who gave you the distribution list?
I think maybe Rob Wilson, maybe I think Mandy Talbot.
How would they give you the distribution list, Rob Wilson and Mandy Talbot?
Well, they said, look, these people are interested. These business, these units are interested in this case, and you need to send it. Even that Doug Evans. Doug Evans was the, head of legal, basically, of the whole business. I've never sent Doug Evans anything of that nature.
So would they have emailed you a distribution list, or would they have told you orally to whom you need to send the...
I don't know. I mean, this is going back 12, 13 years.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean,
one way or another, they would have given you the distribution.
Yeah, I don't know any of them. I mean, even Susan Crichton, I probably met her. I didn't know her. Certainly, any of them. I mean, Mandy Talbot, I know, because I think she was in the civil litigation in the same building and Impact House at Croydon. Hugh Flemington, I don't know who he was. I mean, obviously, subsequently, when I joined the Post Office Limited on the 1st of April 12, I've never met him. I don't know who he was. Jacqueline, I don't know. Jessica Madron, yes, I think she was at Impact House. John, all the rest of them, I've never even met. I don't know who they were. So certainly I wouldn't have just plucked them out of the air and put them in.
And so you at least picked, if you didn't pick the distribution list, you picked the subject title of the email.
I don't know.
Well, or was that dictated to you?
If there is, it was dictated to me. If you look at one of the enclosures the inquiry sent me, it's a cover, a brown cover of the file. I don't know where it is now, and that's what it was. I said, Jarnail, you ought to do it. You're the senior lawyer. It's your case. That type of thing. And that's when I did the first bit. Then I was told that you need to do a little bit more because it's going to go to our communication team. I didn't even know we had a communication in existence. So basically, then that last bit about the jumping on the horizon, bashing.
I haven't asked you about that. All I'm asking you about at the moment is the bit.
Okay, well, let's stick with that. No, well, it wasn't my idea to put it the way it is. What I would have done in the Post Office Limited versus Seema Misra. This was the result. The case was concluded after a lengthy trial, and she was she was found guilty by the jury.
Whose idea was it? Who dictated to you that the words "attack on horizon" needed to be included in the subject line?
I don't know. I can't
help us.
I honestly, it's such a long time ago. I wish I could. I mean, let me. This thing, your papers, the inquiries have formed me. I've read them so many times you will not believe it, because I do want to come and assist. And if that heading was not something that it naturally would come to me, let me put it to you that way. And what I would.
So, I mean, he's definitely trying to pass off responsibility here, basically saying I would have stuck to the facts. I would have just said it was this case, it was Post Office versus Seema Misra, the case was won, blah, blah, blah. But basically stuck to the facts of the case. So basically saying that actually all the controversial bits of this email have come from somebody else. But then when he's describing the conversation that was had with him, it's understandable getting a distribution list, but if someone's asking you to write an email, Jarnail, you have to write this email because it's important that they get an update. I can't. It's really hard to believe that they were going to dictate the exact content of the email. Otherwise, why wouldn't they just send it themselves? Unless somebody thinks actually this is a bit controversial, let's get someone else to send it. But actually, Jarnail Singh would have known that in his position, wouldn't he? And presumably said, no, you'll have to send the email yourself.